Carly, so great to have you on the podcast. How are you today?
Great. Thanks for having me. I'm super excited to chat.
Really excited. First off, first time on the show, so would love if you could tell the audience a little bit about your background, and
hmm
then from there we'll talk about Hardline.
Yeah, sounds good. My name's Carly. I'm a co-founder of Hardline, but before that, I grew up in a construction family in Canada. Also had to play into the stereotype of ice hockey, so played ice hockey growing up. Was recruited to Harvard. Played for Team Canada for three years, and then after a career-ending injury, moved to LA to get some sunshine and work in tech. Which quickly realized I wanted to be back in construction, and then went back to tech, which is where I am now with Hardline.
I like it. Um,
Yeah, bounced around.
how and you're still in LA today, right?
Yep, yep. Still in LA.
So I know LA has a pretty cool like tech scene.
Mhm.
How is there like construction tech scene?
Yeah, I think there's a few out here, but I'm starting to realize like the tech scene in LA is mostly Venice, which we're kind of close to Venice, but it is a very tight-knit community. Construction tech, um yeah, there's not a ton of us out here. There's a few of us, but it's pretty limited.
Okay. Yeah, it's a cool I mean, it doesn't matter where you are anymore. You can like
Yeah.
hop on a plane, especially you have LAX, you can go anywhere in the country if you really need to. So,
Mhm.
you have pretty much a direct flight to every single major city, so no worries. But I just wanted to ask. What I would love to learn a little bit about Carly is like what's the pitch when you first meet someone and you have to tell them what hardline is?
Yeah. So Hardline was formed from my experience of managing projects and taking 50 to 100 phone calls a day from subcontractors, suppliers, clients, and trying to field all that information was almost impossible and also dangerous on the road. So what Hardline does is we don't record phone calls. We are an app you download on your phone, and it intercepts all the key decisions and information that is relevant to a project and documents it for you. So it's really just almost we say it's like an old lady who's right beside you all day taking notes, and your little assistant is just making sure everything's documented. And then from that, we're able to author the workflows and make sure that we're taking all the tedious tasks away from site workers.
What's something about the company that obviously you know because you started it, but you wish maybe more people would know that um I think when building companies there's always things even if you do a great job, right, that certain folks will be unclear about. What's something that you wish people knew more about Hardline?
Say that I wish people would know more that we are doing it for the superintendent to protect them and to empower them to use tech, and that we built it around what they need so that project managers who use tech, they can quickly adopt it as well. But it's meant for them to feel like they have a bit more time in their day, and they don't, get the blame for the big $150,000 rework mistake that I've been blamed for in the past.
And what's I'm sure you hear a lot of feedback, right? How do you like to hear feedback, and then once you hear that feedback, how do you decipher what kind of gets shelved versus what actually gets added to the product?
Yeah, I think that's been a challenge because we have so many incredible design partners with unlimited ideas, and we really have to we honestly make a spreadsheet of features, and we check every time somebody mentions it. Um, But really, if it's coming from somebody in the field, that's primarily the priority. And then also something that just feels intuitive. But yeah, that's a very good question because it's not like we have it nailed down. We're not product managers yet.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite questions to ask, honestly, because it's hard. It really is hard to you want as much feedback as possible, but then some feedback, usually most of it is good, but
Mhm.
only so much can actually get added to roadmap. You're limited, right? And you can't do everything.
Yeah, and it's also like we don't want to do everything, but we do wanna do it in a way that is meeting them where they're at. I think that, um, a lot of companies try to do everything all at once, and if we can do a few things really good, that's like a huge win for us.
So what I would love to learn a little bit more about is where how I first learned about you and your company was I think Suffolk Tech did a post about you, and then I kind of
Mhm,
went from there. I'm like, oh, I want to have Carly on the podcast. It'd be cool to learn more about Hardline and her background. Um, you're part of their latest. It's the latest Boost accelerator, right?
mhm.
Can you tell our audience a little bit about how that experience has been?
Yeah, it's been incredible. The Boost team and all of the Suffolk, operating partners have been so helpful in forming our roadmap. We were the youngest team to be accepted, so we started our company in March, quit our jobs in March, and kind of were, I think it was 5 months later we were accepted to Boost. So they've played a huge part in mapping out our roadmap, but also giving us introductions to some of the most influential and powerful construction companies in America. So, um, they're an awesome team, and we have a ton of fun with them. We're really excited to see them next week, in Boston.
It's that team over there is just a breath of fresh air.
Mhm,
Super innovative. They love what they do. I don't
mhm,
think the program would have the success that it's had if they weren't so like in love with all the companies that get to go through there, and
mhm,
they live and breathe this. And I just applaud Suffolk in general for having the initiative. I know a lot of firms out there have tried to create almost like the Suffolk Technologies kind of model, and I
mhm.
don't know if it's worked as well as how Suffolk Technologies has what they are at today.
Yeah, I wanna chalk it down to how smart and motivated they are, but I think it also has to do with how personable they are. They're like we've only known them for, I don't know, 4 months, but they feel like brothers and sisters to us. Like, they're awesome people, and so it makes you motivated and you gravitate towards that. So I think, yeah, they have it all really going on.
I love it. Um, I wish I could be at that event. I'll have to get up there at some point.
Mhm.
I was in
Yeah.
Boston a while back to meet with Suffolk. I used to live in
Mm.
Boston for a few years, and um, it was during that time I think that they had a crane that like with the hurricanes that was like right down the road from me that ended up I think going down. It wasn't. I don't
No
think it was their
way.
fault or anything. It was there wasn't enough time to.
Yeah, it is crazy going back to Boston. I I miss it so much. It's just such a motivating city. The people there have so much grit, especially in the construction space. So, yeah, the demo day will be really fun next week. I think you can watch it virtually if you're interested as
That's good.
well. Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
definitely check it out then.
Mhm.
I would love to hear a little bit from you, Carly. And I'm sure you've learned a ton since starting Hardline, but what's something you now know today that you wish you knew when you were first starting the company?
Oh, wow. There's a
One.
lot of things. One
Yeah.
thing. Um, hmm. I would say that I wish I wish I knew that the product doesn't have to be perfect. I think that's a common theme in a lot of founders, and um, we're in a very critical part of workflows. A phone call is, if it doesn't work, then that's like it's a really bad thing if our phone calls aren't working. So, um, yeah, it's a balance. It's a balance of deploying, but also just getting it in the hands of people. So yeah, I think I wish I knew that a little earlier.
Yeah, and it's tricky, right? Because I think we're taught that, like as founders, we're always taught get your product out there early, right?
Mhm.
But then I think we all have those experiences where the majority of the time that is the case, and then we'll always have that one customer or person that expects, like, you tell them you're open, you tell them you're new, and I think we've all come across that person that's like they have unreal expectations for when you're just starting the product,
Uh-huh.
right? Like you have to be able to walk before you can run, and some of them think that you're gonna, but the majority of the really good partners and customers will understand, right?
Yeah, and I think, like, construction is also such a specific, industry with that because tech is not something they're just super welcome to and open to, so making sure that it's working is the minimum. But in other industries, it would be like, they're okay with the bugginess, but we couldn't have, big bugs going on, or else they'll just churn in a second or just, like, absolutely abort the app.
Yeah, yeah. I am curious, Carly. Like, I know you have a couple integrations. Can you tell us like what those integrations are today, and then maybe
Mhm.
the thought process was to make sure those were early integrations that got added to the roadmap?
Yeah, yeah. So we're integrated with Procore and Autodesk right now. We'll be integrated with Fieldwire, and we have a strategic partnership with them coming up in December. So the way we looked at it was kind of our design partners, seen what they use on a day-to-day basis. Procore is everyone's pretty much go-to at the mid-size to large size scale, and then same with Autodesk. But Fieldwire was a little bit more of our focus. We would have liked to have them maybe a bit earlier than the other two because they're our focus with our ICP. We are really targeting these smaller to mid-sized GCs who don't have the tech that's built for them necessarily, and who kind of face the struggles that we're solving in the biggest way.
Hmm, interesting. I was just
Mhm.
curious.
Yeah.
Um, where do you go from here? Like, what's next that really excites you in the company?
Yeah, I think number 1 is voice powering every workflow for superintendents and project managers. That's how they work today. They communicate. They may not write it down, but they do need to document it. So being able to power a job site with just their voice and uh, getting keyboards off of the job site is a big priority of ours. So our biggest thing is really just getting as deep into their workflows as possible with just their voice.
I
It's
like
kind of
it.
funny. We like fell into this voice AI trend accidentally. Like in February when we were making the, pitch deck, I just thought it was an intuitive way to solve this issue, but now voice AI is everywhere for every industry. And so we kind of accidentally fell into it. But it's just the way that they work. So
Yeah, you're ahead of it, for sure. Because now it's, I mean, you have Microsoft. Like, there's a bunch
Mhm,
of, um, I think what's really changing to interfaces is kind of voice is changing the interface of every type of platform now.
mhm, mhm,
It'll be an interesting challenge for design, like product designers, actually, and how what are the next versions of dashboards and different types of
mhm.
interfaces that we experience. But I think the key is that they will be voice first, majority of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think my kids will hopefully be looking at my laptop like it's some kind of Stone Age thing with the letters on it. That's how I always imagine this.
Yeah, it'll be. Yeah, I read somewhere, and I've talked to some people, and they don't think this is like legit, but there's an article that's like we're going to need more ENT docs moving forward because we'll be talking a lot more.
Mhm.
Like, but then someone's like, we used to talk all the time. It We'll be talking more than we do today, today, but
Yeah.
probably still not as much as we talked before. I mean, everything. Remember, it was just phone call. Like everyone was just doing
Yeah.
phone calls. Um, but yeah, I mean, I even find myself typing a lot less than I did before.
Mhm.
Um, it's
Siri.
interesting times that we're in.
Yeah, I think it's a healthy thing because I don't know if typing and looking at your screen all day is, sustainable. So I think that it's just the way the world goes is it goes through shifts and it goes back and then it'll come back to, more typing and less talking, I'm sure one day. But yeah, that's how we're kind of seeing it unfold right now.
I've actually had really nice experience lately of I'm still working, but during the day I find myself going for a walk more and just taking, one of the AI tools out there and just chatting with it of what I need to do and
Mhm.
just on a basic level. And that would be the same thing as me like sending out some email. Like I'm going through, I know I need to email this person. So I want to talk about this. Like just give me some ideas. And I think we're going to see maybe a lot less stress amongst people too. Like I think
Mhm.
typing and just being on your computer, it can become a very stressful ordeal after a while.
100%. Yeah, if I can get out for a walk midday, that's everything, but I definitely yeah, I'm a culprit of listening to a podcast mid-walk and stuff, so it is definitely going that way. I think that there's a lot of benefits to it as well with data. We're getting the data that has never been, collected before, and that's a really exciting thing. Like, people don't have this phone data with construction software yet, and I think that being able to be the first to do that has been it's been an exciting thing, but also like we're waiting for that competitor to pop up.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Last question before we wrap up here. How has always love chatting with athletes, by the way, because I feel like the level of discipline and that motivation to just win is built into you from a young age, right? So
hmm
what have you really taken away from your playing career that's helped you in your day to day now?
I think the biggest thing that I've taken away is the when I was training for hockey and on road to the Olympics, I think that I woke up every morning so excited and couldn't wait to go to the gym or get on the ice, and for the first time since then, I've had that feeling with Hardline, and it's the feeling of, like, complete passion, and when I had that spark in me with this, I was like, "Oh, I know I can do this." It's like it's that drive and doing it with people I love, yeah, I think a lot of the doing it with the good people is everything, so I would say that team is a big thing, and then also just having that drive, that's grit. Also, I don't really I have kind of thick skin from playing with some boys growing up, so I kinda had to, fight some boys when I was younger, I'm not gonna lie.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Well, Carly, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. We'll have to have you come back on or give us an update in the near future.
absolutely.
And
Yeah.
have a great time at the Suffolk Tech event. Good luck, and we're cheering you on from the sidelines.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to follow along, with your journey as well.
Thanks so much. Be well.